I'm going to show you how to use organizations within Google Apps. In this example, I'm using Google Apps for Education, and organizations are really powerful, but I think my top tip is do some planning beforehand. Think about the kind of organization structure that you want, and then begin to move your users to those organizational groups. So this could be pupils, staff, admin, staff. In a business organisation, it could be the structure of the business or by department or whatever. So I've logged into my admin console and I've already clicked on the users option, and over to the right here I do have some organisations already created. My top level domain is beechwoodpark.net, and in fact if I click on the arrow to expand the drop down, I get this hierarchy, and you can see that I've got a staff organisational group and a pupils organisational group, and within that group more organisational groups, very much like folders. I also have an archive group so that when I get rid of an organisation I can move it there, perhaps keep it for a while before I truly delete it. And I've got a training group. So I'll show you how to create an organisational group. It's actually very simple. I'm going to, within my training group, if I show you what's there, I've got various training accounts that I use. And I'm going to create, because this is just a test, another organisational group. And if I highlight the group I'm interested in, on the right I get an arrow, click, and I want to add a sub-organisational group. I'm going to just call this test. I won't give it a description. I could, in fact, put it somewhere else, but I'll keep it under training and create organisation. So now I have a new organisational group. It currently has no active users. That makes sense. And also I've got some options for this new group, which is to add another sub-organisation. I can edit it, change its name, move it to another part of my hierarchy, or delete it. If I delete it, it will warn me if there are users within that group, and I'll have to do something with those users first, delete them, move them, which is why I've got an archive group here. So I know I'm in that group, it's highlighted. Also, just like folders, that's confirmed up here. If I want to create a user, for example, then at the top, add more users. I will call this Mr. Test, and I will not worry about passwords. This is just a test. Create user. We're done. And now I've got my training group, and within that I've got a group, an organisation I should say, called test, and within test I have one user. So I'm just going to rename this, edit, and call this old test, and that's done. So again, it's much easier to think through your general organisational structure first and then begin to add in users, whether one at a time or using a spreadsheet. And remember that you've got a lot of power and control over your hierarchy, what things look like and how you use them. So there you go, organisations within Google Apps, very powerful.